Hi, everyone. It's Arthur here at Arthur Each Your Mind on YouTube. I'm a psychic advisor and an intuitive consultant, or something like that. Anyway, hi, it's Sunday, and thank you to the early show. Little things like Super Bowls, yeah, it's bigger ratings than I get. So, and being Bad Bunny, yeah, I want to watch him. So, there you go. And as far as football is concerned, I think I'd rather watch, I don't know, the Nutcracker Suite. I'm not really a football person, but hey, the commercials are fun, so we'll take it for there. In the meantime, I also have a big thank you and shout out for last Sunday. It was a last minute decision to cancel the show. I didn't want to, but I was in pain. And I felt like if you ever saw the original Little Shop of Horrors, the black and white version, the Roger Corman film with, I felt like Jack Nicholson's character who goes in and says, I want a root canal without Novocaine. Yeah, that's how I felt. But I did have the root canal with Novocaine the next day. Thank you. Luckily, the dentist, she's wonderful. If you're in the Los Angeles area, Dr. Lim, she's wonderful. She's on Fairfax. I would highly recommend her. And it was really fun because I walked in, they have all this like Valentine's Day stuff and all these flowers and everything all over the place. And I'm sitting in my chair, and then they put me back down. I'm looking up at this fake, plastic flower over my head. I said, at Christmas time, do you by chance use mistletoe? So she says, well, I said, yeah, we'll talk about it. So we've got some work to do. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for that. I was out for a couple of days with that. And then I have another test this week, TMI. But everything's moving forward with everything. So I'm here. And I'm too mean to go away anytime soon. And I have too many people to spite. So you're stuck with me. So in the meantime, again, thank you for being here. It's Sunday early. Don't ask me who's going to win. Again, don't ask me. I was teasing with I think it was the other day, I was doing a show and someone kept on, am I going to win money? And I was teasing her. I don't make fun of anybody except myself. You know that. And maybe somebody with an orange face. But anyway, so I said, look, my game of chance is it's a new restaurant. Should we try it? As opposed to, other things. So here we are. It's Sunday. Thank you for being here. It's about 80 degrees here in Los Angeles. Can you believe it? To me, this is unseasonably warm. But I told my sister, she's back in Pennsylvania. One day she'll be shoveling out of rubble. I mean, she'll be shoveling out of snow. I'll be shoveling out of rubble. It'll all even out in the long run. Okay. So let's get some little housekeeping out of the way here. As you know, we're doing a solo show. It's politics. And so please put your questions in caps. It really helps us read them. And again, thank you to the wonderful Miss Sherry. She's in the background helping with questions. And so is Mr. Walter. They both agreed to doing the show early with me because I think they want to watch the halftime shows. Anyway, so we're going to be doing political stuff. Also, coming up this weekend is Valentine's Day. So why don't you share it with me and Val? Val and I are doing this month for February, our Zoom event. It's 10 people in a Zoom room, and we read for each of you. And it's amazing how it becomes a group, not like we're reading a group together, but everybody's question relates to everybody. It's amazing how it happens, how spirit comes in, and there's activations and all this wonderful stuff. And just because you have the one reading at that moment, it doesn't mean you just walk away. The energy that is created continues, and there's shifts in people's lives. They've written us about it, where, like I say, when we have an eclipse energy doesn't last that day. It can last up to 6 months to a year sometimes, depending on what the eclipse is. And we do have one coming up on the 17th, which is going to be very, very interesting, especially for an orange man's chart. And but it's also Lunar New Year, and it's the start of the fire year, the new horse fire year. And it's going to be pushing. You're going to feel a lot of energy being pushing all of us forward. And I've got some videos coming out on that, probably, hopefully by the 17th, they'll be out. In the meantime, the event with Val, there's still some seats available. So go to dragonflycrystals.store. And our event in Las Vegas has been sold out, and we're trying to plan on where we want to do next, and to wreak havoc in which city. So we'll figure that out once we're done with Vegas. But in the meantime, we're still doing Valentine's show together. So join us. It'll be fun. Now, in the meantime, just one little other mention is every year we have 3 to 4 times a year we go into that wonderful, wonderful Mercury retrograde. Well, we're heading into one. It's going to be February 26th through March 20th. So my suggestion is I do have a guided meditation, Embracing Mercury Retrograde, a guided meditation with affirmations and 528 hertz underneath. 528 hertz is a frequency that entrains your brain, so it helps you to open up, and it's great for, they say it can rebuild DNA, that it's the love frequency. I use it as it's one size fits all. So it really helps when it comes to guided meditations to put the 528 underneath it, so it relaxes you. People say, but I fall asleep. So what? Your subconscious is still hearing it. All right. So please check that out. And they're all free. So it's on my YouTube channel. And it's also available on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, and stuff like that too. So you don't have to go to YouTube all the time to listen to them. Okay. And one last thing, if anyone's listening, I hope you're listening. If anyone's interested in a reading, personal readings, you can find me at arthureaseyourmind.com. April is completely open, so I've got lots of availabilities there. All right. So lots of stuff happening. So that's my meet and greet. Thank you about the teeth. See, I have notes here. I have to follow. Talked about the Zoom event and everything else. So thank you. Now, real quick, I just want to broach one thing. I often say that when it comes to what I do, when I do these shows, when I say I feel or I think, a lot of this is information coming to me through my guides and the guides, angels, whatever words you want to use them. Sometimes before the night before the show, I will scry, which is when you use a crystal ball. And it's basically a focal point. I'm not really a tarot card reader, even though I do understand them. I don't use them for readings like this. I just go in real time and answer your questions. Now, the one thing I have said before is the one thing I ask you not to do is compare, well, so-and-so said this, what do you think? So-and-so said this, what are your take on it? Just ask me the question, okay? Now, that being said, there were a lot of questions about Nancy Guthrie. I'm not going to go into it whether she's with us or not. I'm not sure. I'm just being very, very honest with you. It's questionable. And I don't want to put out any false information. But what my guides are showing me is that within the next 18 days, the truth is going to be revealed, that I keep on getting 2 individuals involved with this. One that's the main person, then somebody that may in the background may know about it. But then by the end of the month, I was getting around the 27th, no later than the perpetrator, the main perpetrator, will be caught and brought to justice, and they're going to be caught fleeing. So that's what I'm getting on that. So whether she's with us or not, my guides are not specifically saying it happens. It's all interpretation. Some people see it, some people don't. I'm just saying around the situation, I feel that within 18 days, we're going to know the truth. By the end of the month, but I would say before the 27th, one of the individuals, the perpetrator, is caught fleeing. So that's how I'm going to answer that question. Okay. So we got a lot of other things here. So let's pile up the questions and see what we got here today. Okay. And again, thank you so much for being here on this Sunday. and early. Okay? Thank you. Hi, Lauren Austin. Will Bad Bunny's halftime show be a positive hit, and will many Republicans who tune in enjoy it? Will his performance help our country in some small way? Well, I think it's interesting that some of the GOP are telling him, "Go home, go home, go back to your country." He's American. He's going to Puerto Rico. Don't they know the geography? I guess not. Anyway, I really feel that people are going to enjoy him. This is the second time he's doing a halftime show. The first time he was with Jennifer Lopez. So this is his first time solo. I really feel he's going to surprise some people with some good things. I don't feel he's going to be all political like he was at the Grammys. He's going to have a good time, and he reunites, and in his own way, he unites the country. So yeah, it's going to be a good show. Okay. Now, if you want the alternative, you could always watch Kid Rock. Yeah, right. Whatever. That's another story. We're not going to go there. All right. But thanks, Laura. Yeah, have a good time. Annalise, dear Arthur, Sherry, and Walter, will peace come to Ukraine in 2026? Please, see, feel, hear. Yes, blessings and healing to all. This has been a tricky one because there's so many different people involved. I always see Ukraine at the end of the day does stand up as the victor, if that's the right wording. And what I kept on getting is, timelines are hard, but I get some agreements. I kept on feeling something about September coming up on this. They just showed me September. That some things are coming forward. Some people are going to be embarrassed by it. Gee, wonder who. And that Putin's going to be backing down, because I feel Putin's going to be having his own issues with his own people if he's still with us at that time. Okay? But yeah, I'm going to say something about September is coming up really strong about this. Okay? And Ukraine will be rebuilt. Hi, Teresa Spriggs. Thank you so much for the super sticker. It really helps the channel. It all goes back to the channel, as you know. Like when I'm, in fact, I just put up another, I have that I have that little playlist called Chill and Relax, Mini Brain Vacations. When I couldn't do the show last Sunday, I ended up putting a new one up, Mini Brain Vacation number 3. I put that up for everybody. It's just music. And it's already hit 16,000 views. So I really appreciate all that too. So that all the money goes back into studio time, goes back to editing, goes back to all of that. So I really appreciate all that. Thank you so much, Teresa Spriggs. Hi, Katie. Hi, Arthur, Sherry, and Walter. Will the awful video I can't even say his name. Who wants to? DT posted of the Obamas bite him in the butt. Thank you for your calming effect and you bring to us. You mean will it bite him in a diaper? So, yeah, it already is. I mean, the whole thing of it's not the first time it's been out there, but the fact that it's coming from the White House official account depicting a former president and his wife as a gorilla and a monkey, and then saying that it was, Karen Levin said, it's just characters from the Lion King. There's no gorillas in the Lion King. I'm sorry. So it's the thing is, even staunch Republicans that saw that were really offended and felt enough is enough. The man is starting to. He always got away with stuff. It's changing, and his chart is changing on the 17th. I'm telling you. So what he thought he could get away with, he's not going to be getting away with anymore, and people are going to start standing up to him, and his cabinet too. People are done. Okay, but thank you. Yeah, it's going to bite him in the butt or in the diaper. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Arthur, Sherry, and Walter. Will Elaine Cannon ever release Jack Smith's Volume 2 report? Will Cannon ever be removed from the bench? Thank you. Yes, she was doing timeshares in Montana. Probably within about 2 years. No, actually, I do see it being released. I do see her getting thrown off the bench. I would say the longest she's going to be there is till mid 2027. I feel that's when things will be released, and that's when everybody goes, "Oh my god!" And remember Sandy Dennis in what was it, the Out of Towners? Oh my god! Yeah, that's what we're going to be saying. So yeah, she'll be gone. Firefly, hello Arthur. Do you see the SAVE Act passing in Congress? No, I don't. I don't. I mean, it's hideous what they're, where women have to go get their original birth certificates and prove their names and all that kind of stuff. And it's just everything to make everything crazy for voting. I don't see it passing. I don't. Hi, Lori. Hi, Arthur. Will the Clintons' deposition be the big smackdown on the felon we all hope for? Really, the GOP in Congress are really not that bright to push for this. Popcorn is ready. I've got the butter. Yeah. It's, you know, they think that, we've got the Clintons. Yeah. Well, they're also not going to be doing it in closed session either. They're doing it in the public. So you may not agree with Bill Clinton. He is in Epstein files, but to what extent, we're not sure. So people are innocent until proven guilty. But I do feel they're going to turn this all around. And notice how he's not suing Trevor Noah for the joke about that Trump needs Greenland because now he doesn't have Epstein Island, so where he's going to play with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton didn't complain about that joke now, did he? I don't think so. Anyway, I got the butter. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Arthur. Do you see perhaps leaked whistleblowers or sources besides the DOJ releasing Epstein files in full or in part? If so, what are they waiting on to come out with information? When you said leaks, all I can think of Trump. Never mind, it's a long story. Ew. I've always said that it comes out from more than one source. I've always felt, I've always said Scotland Yard Britain has a lot to do with this. And even though they dumped 3 million files that are some of the most hideous regarding about torture and murder and stuff like that, of course, some of it is not, it's not been documented. It's just hearsay, supposedly. But there's smoke, there's fire. And in this case, we have a towering inferno. Timing. It's a matter of timing. And as people get more and more, okay, I'm done, more and more stuff's going to come out. And I feel even the survivors are now, they're going to start, they've kept quiet. They're going to start coming forward even more now. So it's all going to be coming out. And 2027, the beginning of 2027 is really going to be when things really start hitting the fan. Okay? Not to say nothing before then, but what I'm getting here is as we get to the end of 2026 and 2027, things that are talked about, it's just not talk, it's credible. Okay? There's stuff backing everything up now. Okay? Good question. Hi, Carola. Do you get a read on why Nancy Griffey was kidnapped? Was it just to try and get ransom, or is it for some other nefarious reason? Kidnapping anybody is a nefarious reason. I'm not getting the details on it, to be honest with you. I just know that it's all going to come out in the next 18 days. All right? So we'll know more at that time. But thanks for the question. Hi, Belinda. Hi, team. Is the current pics of Jeffrey Epstein real or AI? Is he unalived? He's gone to the great beyond. He's not with us anymore. His brother even saw parts of the autopsy. So I've heard somebody will say, no, he wasn't there, but the brother did read about the autopsy and everything. So he is unalived. Okay. Lori, hi. Arthur, please tell us when Trump will be gone. Is that mentally, physically, or spiritually? You have a choice, A, B, or C, or all of the above. A, he's already gone mentally. Every time I go to Whole Foods and look at the Swiss cheese, I'm like, ooh, that looks familiar. When have you gone out of office? Look, I've gone on a limb, and I've said something about the end of February. I feel he's not going to be in office. I'm not saying he's not going to be around on the realm, but I feel that the end of. Remember, I read last February that I said in September I saw Trump and I saw lots of generals around Trump. Well, my prediction was that these generals would be trying to get Trump to go away. I didn't realize at the time I had the generals, I had Trump, but it was Trump talking to the generals. Oops, my bad. See, that's where sometimes the interpretations. But this time around, I do feel the end of February, he's being taken away, escorted. Now, some people say he's going to flee. I don't know how he's going to flee when he's handcuffed to a gurney. That's what I keep on seeing. But end of February into March, let's say by my birthday, I don't think he's going to be president. And that's going to be the best present I can have. Okay. Hope that answers your question. The X frequency. Hi, Arthur. Will Roy Kona and Thomas Macy ever initiate concept of Congress charges against Pam Bondi? They've already written articles of impeachment. I sound like Elmer Fudd. Articles of impeachment they've already drawn up. They just have to submit them. So yeah, they're going to go after her and others as well, and especially after the fact that the files have been redacted in such a way to hurt the victims and shield the perpetrators. That's really going to be addressed too. Okay. Hi, Heather. What is the impact of the monk's walk? Changing anything? Improving consciousness? This is that little take down the mountain with it one little drop of water at a time. This is one step at a time. They're changing consciousness. It may not be seen, but this is like waves. I've seen some reports where people have been interviewed after watching the monks that they just feel more grounded and a sense of peace. So that's what their job is. So let's give them all the love and light that they deserve. Okay? And it continues. Hi, Lori. Hi. Will the whistleblower complaint be Tulsi's underdoing? From what is being said, it is a very serious situation that has been hidden. Thank you. Yes. But she's probably still there because, Putin told Trump, don't get rid of my puppet or one of my puppets. But it's all been coming out. And they had that it was Trump dealing with a Russian asset. It's all coming out, people. I'm telling you, the Michael Steele dossier is more truthful than what they want us to believe. And that's on top of the Epstein files. Okay? It's going to come out. Hi, Nancy Goat. Hi, Arthur. Do you see the Epstein files being released in their entirety by anyone, anytime, without redactions that protect the perpetrators? I feel there's going to be some change. The thing is, the lawyers have seen the original, so they know what's in there. They just can't talk about it. But I do feel that eventually things do get released the way they're supposed to be, with the perpetrators, their names unredacted, and the victims redacted. Something about October comes up around that, the beginning of it. It may not be for a while, but it's going to be drips and drabs in October. Where exactly? Somebody that gets pissed off and says, okay, I've had this, I've been sitting on it. I'm not sure if it's another country or an oligarch type, but it comes out and it's going to get ugly. And lots of finger pointing. But the problem is, according to some sources, that the ring that Epstein was accused of is still in existence. So people are not getting caught. But I do feel every dog has their day. Okay. Hi, Laura. Will there be a time when we will know without a doubt all of Trump's corruption, involvement with Epstein, illegal financial dealings, etc.? I don't think we're going to know the full extent of all of it. Really. It's like layers of a onion. Yeah, right. An onion. Like one thing after the other after the other. You get so far and then all of a sudden there's something else. I guess we'll have to wait for the ABC made-for-TV movies to start. Then we'll know. But no, seriously, there's going to be a lot of books. There's going to be a lot of things written. And the stuff that's going to come out is going to be very fascinating, where people are going to be saying, oh, that's not real. It's just like with Anita Hill, going against Clarence Thomas. And now everything coming out about Clarence Thomas, it's like, oh, it was all probably true back then, but they made her look like the fool. Just like they've been trying to make all the survivors look like the fools. The tables are turning. Okay. Hi, Janet Jackson. When the Orange Menace is no more, will his evil minions use his auto pen to write themselves pardons? I don't know. I think they'd use his auto pen and write themselves checks first. That's another story. I feel that if he's not there, that they won't be able to get pardons. Okay, he may have done. There may be a drawer full of pardons, just like there's a drawer. I swear, the guides have shown me many times that there is a drawer with a file, a divorce decree between Melania and Trump that's just waiting to be signed. So there's stuff there. Think of it, $75 million for a movie that made $7 million in its first weekend, and they said it was a big success. I guess it's that new math. I don't know. Stargazer, hi Arthur. Will the attack on voting rights get passed by the House and Senate? It's now called the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is not going to go through. And I do feel there are going to be some Republicans that are going to be against it. Because they know if they vote for it, their chances of a midterm comeback are gone. All right? It's hideous. Hi, Pat Lee. Are the Trump kids experiencing any social shunning since the release of the Epps files? Are you kidding? They don't care. They were shunned anyway. That's why they created all the clubs that they have, so they could be the members of their own club. No, I don't think they care. I'd be surprised if one or two of the sons are not in it eventually do. Entertainment purposes only. Hi again, Arthur. Which Supreme Court justices will be asked to step down? I'm hearing lots of country western music and people dancing. Clarence Thomas, Alito, Kavanaugh. I feel they'll be asked to step down. Or they will be ridiculed with information, and so that doesn't get out, they'll step down. But as I've always said, you're probably sick of hearing me saying this, but in 5 years, 13 Supreme Court justices, one for each court. Ta-da! LBC, will countries begin throwing out American ambassadors? The guy in Poland is worse than the guy in Canada, and that's saying something. Tak, which is yes in Polish. Yeah. Yeah, they're just going to say, okay, we're done. Go, get out of here. But then, of course, Humpty Dumpty is going to like retaliate. Oh, you're going to do that to our people? We'll do that to your people. It's so high school. Not even high school. It's more like, are you a good bee or a bad bee? Did you have your breakfast, or did you have milk and cookies? Go lay down now. Take a nap. Well, he's doing that anyway, no Oval Office, but still. Yeah. They're going to ask some ambassadors to leave, and then it'll go back and forth. Get the popcorn ready. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Arthur. Can you tell us if the Washington Post employees were fired because they were not impartial? Thank you. I believe that had something to do with it, but Jeff Bezos is just cutting corners, and people do not read newspapers like they used to. So, I mean, stories still follow through. They need reporters to follow the stories, but yeah, 300 people lost their jobs. Will they come back? Maybe a few, but not all 300. No. It's part of it was, I don't feel all of it was because they weren't doing Trump's bidding, but some of it was just about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos paid enough money for that film for Melania where he kept all 700 people or 300 people working. That's the kicker of the whole thing. So, okay, Sarah. I don't mean that lightly. Jenny, hi, Arthur. What do you see happening with the Nipah virus? The next export from India. I see it growing. I see more countries getting involved with it. I see it coming to the United States. However, I do see that there will be, I hate to use the word vaccines, but there will be ways of stopping it from moving and spreading like COVID did. Okay. I don't see it getting to the place where COVID was. Okay. Hi, Jackie Frazier. Hi, do you see the Clintons vindicated after they testify publicly? If there's anything the Clintons know how to do, is they know how to spin things. And it's going to look like a little dreidel by the time they're done. So, yeah. Vindicate. It's going to leave some people still questioning, but the way Comer and some of them will be asking the questions, the way they throw it back at them, it's going to be fun to watch. So, yeah. Well, thanks. Hi, Laura. Will Susan Collins keep her Senate seat in Maine after the midterms? I get a no on it. I could be wrong, but she's always says, "Oh, bad things about Trump," but then votes his way. So people are tired of her. I feel we'll find out in the midterms, but I feel she will be replaced. Hi, Arthur. Is Trump going to try and bulldoze down the JFK Art Center? No. He's just going to close it down for 2 years. and then say he's going to refurbish it, which to me is Trump speak for let's have a fundraiser, let's grift people, and let's launder money. Okay. I mean, still, the one thing that gets me is he puts his name on it. He didn't even use the same font. Come on, people. Where's the nun with the rulers when you need them now? Hi, Ginger. Hi, Arthur. Do you see John Ossoff winning next presidential election? Thank you. I don't see him as a presidential elector, running for president. Can he eventually be part of the cabinet or an integral part of the Democratic Party? Yes, but I don't see him as president. Okay. Hi, Helen. Hello, Arthur. Will the United States ever recover the money that Taco has stolen from the U.S. in his offshore accounts? I hate to say this, but no. I mean, there's maybe some money is returned, but it's gone. It's in private accounts, other countries, and that's where Qatar or Qatar, whatever you want to pronounce it. There's $500 million sitting in that account, if not more, and in Saudi Arabia, and he's got accounts in China. So I don't feel that we'll be able to recover the money. However, I've always felt that people like E. Jean Carroll does get her payments. And when I've always read it, I always hear it comes from his estate. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Hi, Cindy. Arthur, will the tunnels under the Getty Museum be closed up and destroyed? Be honest with you, I didn't know there's lots of tunnels under the Getty. I mean, I've been there several times. It's beautiful views. And he really had some nice Bengals when I was there. I got a no on it. I mean, this is shades of, apparently what P. Diddy had lots of tunnels and caves underneath his houses and stuff. But under the Getty, I'm not seeing it. Okay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Arthur. Will Stephen be hauled before Congress to answer questions for his abusive practices towards immigrants? I assume we're talking about the one, the only Stephen Miller. I get a yes on that, but I also get him sitting there, and all of a sudden, when he's talking, his little head opens up, and that little man inside from like Men in Black is in there. So then comes out with the red pen, so we don't remember anything. That's what I think some of us need right now after hearing about Epstein files. But yeah, I feel he's trying to create the world in his own image, and it's skewed. So, as one commentator said, I wish those Latina girls that he went after at Santa Monica High School would at least have gone out on a date with them. Maybe he wouldn't be such an idiot. Well, they use other words. Entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I feel one day, he'll be there. Who's taller, him or Steven Stephanopoulos? Just a question. Entertainment purposes. Okay. All good names taken. Yeah, because that's the best one you can come up with. Hi, Arthur. Will every presidential candidate be required to have served in the U.S. military and or government? Service teaches leadership skills that Trump lacks. Thank you. I thought Trump University taught that. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. It would make sense. It would make sense, at least to serve some type of. I'm just going to say it makes sense, but I'm not sure. I'll answer it that way. I'm not getting a clear-cut answer on it. In a perfect world, that would be wonderful. Misty Eddy, or Edie. Will Bill and Hillary deliver anything that will move the needle more? Will it be televised? Thank you. I don't think it's going to be televised. I mean, I'm sure there'll be clips afterwards, just like they didn't televise. I don't think they televised Jack Smith live, but they did then release it when they thought nobody would watch it. Big mistake. I do think Bill and Hillary will deliver what they need to do. Like I said, they're spinners, and they'll be able to shed some light on some things. The thing is, you shed the light on them, they're going to shed the light back tenfold. Okay. Hi, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you for being you. And thank you for being you. I appreciate it. I really, really do. You guys are so nice. Goody. What are you seeing from the Supreme Court? Will those who don't vote for the people ever come to their senses and do the right thing and finally help us? As I said, I do feel there's going to be 3 that are in doo-doo coming up when Orangina steps down. If they had seen the error of their ways, they would have done it by now. But as far as the terrorists are concerned, I still feel they're going to take that away from him. And with that, I feel they're going to start eroding some of that immunity they gave him, just a little at a time. But yeah, I can see him throwing a plate of fries and ketchup on the wall because of that. But yeah. I hope there's an eggshell because that's so much easier to clean. And never mind. The NSA detected a call between foreign agent and someone close to Trump administration. I suspect it's Tulsi Gabbard. Who are you picking up? It was Tulsi Gabbard that came across it that hid it. It was, I believe it was a Russian asset connected to Trump. I don't feel it was Tulsi Gabbard. It was somebody else. It will come out. Artist, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Hi, Bella. What, if anything, will happen to Elon after his offices were raided by FBI in France? There's going to be some indictments in France against him. He may not be able to go he may be banned from France in about 2 years. Like he cares. There's going to be some information coming out about election interference in Europe. There's going to be some stuff coming out about here in the States. It's all going to be quote unquote hush hush top secret, so we won't know about it right away, but eventually we will. So he's going to face some fines. He's going to face some fines. So that's a good thing, I guess. Hi, Marge. Will enough members of Congress go to see the unredacted files tomorrow to sway other members? Yeah, there's hearing. I mean, what, Ghislaine Maxwell is supposed to talk tomorrow, and some other things are going down. Is it Wexler or Hinton is supposed to be talking tomorrow as well? It's going to be some eye-opening stuff. Of course, they're diehards, so in front of the camera, it's like, oh no, we believe in Trump. But as soon as the camera goes off, nope, get rid of them. And that's what you're going to be seeing more and more of. Okay? So this is the start. Last year, they said the Ides of March, the mirror would start cracking. Well, to me, the mirror is cracked, and there's just shards falling off the frame at this point. Okay. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Arthur. Now that Mitch McConnell seems to be on his way out, does he have any regrets about what he did to our country by enabling this administration? Like what? A last minute change of heart on deathbed? I wish I didn't do that. No, I don't think he regrets anything he's done. I really don't. And his wife has made a bundle. So if he goes, she doesn't care. Entertainment purposes only. I just want to know if someone's still gonna keep the turtle crossing sign in front of his house. That'll be fun. Maybe irrelevant. You're irrelevant. You are relevant. Hi, Arthur. Are some stories about ICE not getting paid true? And if so, do you see many of them quitting? Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I feel it's true they're not getting paid. When has Trump ever paid his people? When? Why would he start now? So yeah, it's true. And that's where they're gonna come up and start saying, I didn't get paid for this. F that. Yeah. I spent $25 for my cosplay outfit and I didn't get reimbursed it. What? Anyway, entertainment purposes only. Reinhardt. Hello, everyone. Question: does Johnson think you need a brain for that? If he lasts long enough that he has a shot for the presidency? Thank you, and glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling better. And presidency for what? The Rotary Club? I mean, come on. He knows his days are numbered. I mean, we should send him a like paint by number set, And when he paints it, it's just a big finger. Paint by numbers. No, he's out. He's gonna be gone. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Arthur. Now that Mitch McConnell is going end of life, we've read this. You have to have a conscience to feel something bad. You have to have a heart to feel something bad. Okay, Napoleon. Do you see a pause on student loan repayment with the new Democrat House? Yes, I do. I see restructuring. I do feel that they're going to bring back what Biden had started, and it's going to work. I'm going to say it may take to 2027, mid 2027 to the end of 2027, but the program will be revisited and revived. Okay, that's how I see it. Will Zohar Mandani in New York ever run for president? Asks Laura. I don't see it. At this moment in time, I'm not seeing it, or they're not showing it to me. Okay. He's got a lot to do in New York. And he's going to do a lot of good things. Hey, Arthur. Mandelson is Epstein's top customer. He gave millions to Epstein. Will Mandelson be jailed? Thank you. Is this the guy from Britain that stepped down from the Labor Party? Yep. I feel he won't go to jail. He did step down. And this is where I keep on saying that Scotland Yard has a lot of info because they really moved after Andrew fast. And this one picture of him in his tidy whities, oh my God, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yeah, and they went after him. And several others have resigned in other countries. So, yeah. He's going to be going to jail. Yes. Hi, Arthur. Will Stephen be hauled before Congress to answer questions for his abusive practices towards immigrants? Again, head opens up, little guy inside. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they'll have a Howard Johnson's booster seat for him to sit on. He's rather short, they say. Anyway, I can see his little legs going this underneath the chair. What is the future for Turning Point USA? Someone's be turning out the lights. That's what I see as the turning point for you. There's stuff that's going to be coming out about Erica Kirk that is not going to be surprising to some of us. The grift is up. That's all I can say. We're going to be turning out the lights. Hi, Sheila. Will laws and contracts that were illegally enacted under the Rump regime be nullified? One man's name comes up really big in bright colors named Elon Musk. So, yeah, I will say yes to that. And not just his, others. And maybe some pardons. That'll be fun. DNLDVID. Do you see turnaround on the tunnel project? Trump has stopped the project going forward unless they put his name on two things to proceed. Many jobs lost in the project and make a hot mess by stopping. Oh, yeah, he wants his name on what? Dulles Airport, and I guess this tunnel thing. They don't call him Taco for nothing. It goes back. The money will be found it's unlawful, and a judge will say, no, you can't do that. C. Bloom, will there be an amendment made to prevent felons from being able to become POTUS or vice pres? As they say in Fargo, you betcha. Yeah. Yep. Will other countries indict felon? I'm going to say yes to that. Will he stand trial in other countries? No. Wouldn't it be fun to have an auction? I'll give you 1 million if we get Trump first. I'll give you 2 million if we get Trump first. Jared, what are you doing back there? Never mind. Yeah. I feel he'll be indicted. I don't know if he'll stand trial. Will Noam be impeached? She should be. She will be. I actually feel she steps down before she's impeached or fired. You know, maybe she'll be doing timeshares in Montana with Eileen Cannon. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, she's gonna be gone. Hi, Lee. Arthur, thank you. Will Chicago get a new mayor or keep Mayor Johnson? Hard job. He is an Aries. He can do it. But a lot of people do not like him. I feel he's another term. I'll put it that way. Because he did come up with that edict that, ICE, you do something, we're going to arrest you. And I feel that got a lot of other people standing in the wings waiting to see if that happens, and they'll do the same thing. Okay? Hi, Linda. Do you see Mark Kelly as our new president? No, but I always see him in the cabinet. Okay. I mean, he'd be fierce, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so will James Comer and Jim Jordan lose their seats? All I kept on seeing was that from the movie Goldfinger, when he presses the red button in the ejector seats. There's two of them. Yeah. Yep. Bye. Are the Great Lakes at risk of terrorism? I'm not seeing it as no. What I'm not seeing at this point. No. I could be wrong, but I'm really they're not showing it to me. So I'll say no to that. I mean, there's always threat and assessments, but actual terrorism happening, no, I don't see it. The only terrorism is when ICE gets involved. Entertainment purposes only. Hi, Moby Mall. Will we have a universal health care? One day, not soon enough. They just showed me something coming to the floor in 3 years. And in 3 years, something's being debated. It may take a while, but a little at a time, things start shifting. Okay? But yeah. Will Elon's data center in Tennessee be closed down? Illegal and dangerous. I get a yes on that. Maybe one of the people he paid the check bounced. So yeah. Yeah. I think we have time for one more quick question on this wonderful Super Sunday day. Super Bowl Sunday day. Ginger, hi. Will the proposed additional concentration camps be blocked? Yes. Yes. The one in Arizona, everyone is up in arms about it. They're putting out ads. And the one in Kansas, too. I think it's two brothers that own the warehouse. They're saying, you don't have to sell this. And if you don't sell it, we remember this. And they're going after blue cities, but I do not see these warehouses being sold to house people. One mayor already pulled the permit and wouldn't let the permit go through, and I feel that's going to happen more and more and more. Okay, so yeah, I don't see it happening. Sea Bloom, thank you for the super sticker. That's so sweet of you. Well, everyone, will Mark, you can put that up. Will Mark Kelly be successful in his lawsuit against Pete Hedgecock? Yes. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. I'd be surprised. I also thought Pete Hegseth, he goes away. I also feel his wife is going to divorce him in a New York second when all that happens too. So, again, the man should be worried about DUI, not DEI. My own opinion. All right. Well, thank you. We have 1473 this afternoon. I know the show is a couple hours early. I appreciate you coming by today. It's really nice seeing you all, answering your questions. I hope you had a good time and realize I'm back. He's got a tooth. So thank you again. And yes, thank you, Arthur, Sherry, and Walter. Lovely chat today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't do it without you guys. So again, real quick, just a friendly reminder. Whoops. This Saturday, 14th, please have a great time with Valerie and myself as we do our Q&A Divine Insight Zoom event. And that's at 3:30 Pacific time. It's about 2 hours. You'll have a great time. All right. In the meantime, we also have Mercury retrograde coming up. So get prepared, get ready. And that's on the 26th to March 20th. All right. So in the meantime, anyone needs to get a hold of me, arthureasymind.com. And also, one last thing. I always say we stand in numbers. Our voices are louder when we're heard together. So please, Congressional Switchboard, 202-224-3121. You can do it. Go Bad Bunny. I'm not going to root for any team. So there you go. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Have a good time watching the game if that's what you're doing. Watching the commercials, watching halftime, and all the good stuff. And we'll see you soon. All right. So again, thank you for being here. Love you all. I really do from here.